who doubles as the buffer stock CO to undertake such an unlawful action, and when confronted, he had the impudence of words on the NDC on the 8th May 2024 at Pulmako. Despite efforts by the security personnel at the Widana Registration Center on the 8th to repatriate the foreigners back to Burkina Faso, the NPP resorted to underhanded tactics, sneaking them back into the constituency through alternative routes for registration at Kulugumu on the 9th of May, solely for their own desperate quest for power. This reckless behavior not only compromises the integrity of the electoral process, but also poses a grave security risk, as the influx of non-citizens from these terrorist hubs could potentially endanger the country's safety and stability. We are gravely concerned about how the grave security risks, as the influx of non-citizens from these terrorist hubs could potentially endanger the country's safety and stability. We are gravely concerned about how the individuals line up in the above pictures for the registration at Pusga EC office are all foreigners who have been transported by the MPP for the purpose of registering in the ongoing voter register exercise. Shockingly, 19 of them had their registration forms completed without providing the dates of birth and ages on the 13th of May 2024. The registration officer, Mr. Mwazu, is the officer who facilitated the wrongdoing, creating fake Ghana card IDs for them to proceed with the registration. It is deeply concerning that such fraudulent actions are being carried out potentially under the influence or direction of political affiliations. The instances of individuals like Swande grave security risks, as the influx of non-citizens from these terrorist hubs could potentially endanger the country's safety and stability. We are gravely concerned about how the individuals line up in the above pictures for the registration at Pusga EC office are all foreigners who have been transported by the MPP for the purpose of registering in the ongoing voter register exercise. Shockingly, 19 of them had their registration forms completed without providing the dates of birth and ages on the 13th of May 2024. The registration officer, Mr. Mwazu, is the officer who facilitated the wrongdoing, creating fake Ghana card IDs for them to proceed with the registration. It is deeply concerning that such fraudulent actions are being carried out potentially under the influence or direction of political affiliations. The instances of individuals like Swande grave security risks, as the influx of non-citizens from these terrorist hubs could potentially endanger the country's safety and stability. We are gravely concerned about how the individuals line up in the above pictures for the registration at Pusga EC office are all foreigners who have been transported by the MPP for the purpose of registering in the ongoing voter register exercise. Shockingly, 19 of them had their registration forms completed without providing the dates of birth and ages on the 13th of May 2024. The registration officer, Mr. Mwazu, is the officer who facilitated the wrongdoing, creating fake Ghana card IDs for them to proceed with the registration. It is deeply...
The government has been very jittery ever since the people of Ghana started rejecting its elected candidate on the basis of the deception and the falsehood that is peddled over the time. The people of Ghana no longer trust the government, and the government has been worried. You know, when people are worried and they are in such a state of desperation, you can expect some of these actions. So for us, we've been expecting the government to take some of these actions, knowing how desperate they are to hold on to power Probably to continue to impoverish the people, to enrich self, to enrich family and friends, at the expense of the state. So they are quite desperate, and it tells in all their communication, in all their things, everything they're doing. Even when students are exposing the lives of the administration, you can imagine how uncomfortable they may be. So we know that they are very desperate and would want to do anything under the heavens to hold on to power. So some of these acts do not surprise us, except that they are in for a battle.
Oh, I'm talking to my lawyer, please. I'm talking to my lawyer. Master, what is this? I'm talking to my lawyer and then you are preventing me. Please, let me talk to my lawyer. What is the name of that? Are you the only police person? Oh, I'm talking to my lawyer, please. I'm talking to my lawyer. Master, what is this? I'm talking to my lawyer and then you are preventing me. Please, let me talk to my lawyer. What is the name of that? Are you the only police person?
What do you mean? The youth of this country are not working. Now we're intimidating and control. I will put my life on the line and defend it. Only Ghana and I would the economy in IMF also your strategies. MPP for Oma clean campaign Ombenyasem because media okay may reply. Obi also your strategies. Also your strategies. Embra ye taking over power. Not dollar 4 cities. And that dollar 12 cities. We are strategies. Excuse me, strategies. More strategies. Please. Omomianye clean campaign. Omomianye clean campaign. Se woma anye clean campaign. Media assembly on the kabia meyano. Mamenka semtro. Meme $6 India a Turkish niya medine ka. Ewo Those are the bremi. Embra me money deposit. Not dollar no. 6 cedis to $1. In August 2022, over $100,000. I have the evidence. Between 1,550,000 Ghana cedis, meaning the dollar was 15 cedis, 50 pesos. Where were the strategies? Things have gone on. Yeah. But honestly, I'll be frank. My name says someone will court here. But I disagree. I disagree with Atu Force in the Yes. Now truth will kill me because Sawusi will be a minister of finance. Nese ministry be Edine Yabano establish LC Manwa. Now Kasadia, any more ministers na motiwana mu heli sayid. Mu hweni. Well, but I'm telling you, Maridi Kakra, and I'm just saying, in principle, Sawuka James said, after forcing, causing financial loss to the state because he established an LC for a ministry. It is not his responsibility to check, say, it is the responsibility of that particular ministry. I will establish an LC on his behalf to check. What do you say? Media, Mrs. Awu, you sue and no as causing causing financial loss to the state. I disagree. Okay. Me must state my position. Me name so ochana be yami, but Menyama kachira wo. Ebi anya facts ni nyina na available. Menyama kachira, me nkanchiro. I know the facts. I know. What you say? I disagree because anya sa ministers, you are not even empowering anybody to sign anything because they will take a clue from Atu Force. It is a real phone, sir. No, unfortunately, no. Atu Force is in court. He has not been sentenced. So they are okay. Yeah, I think so. Obey given the case. Right. I'm saying or court to a young canopy. But me no but my stating my position means no. I can't. Any I am not against Obi Awam this can no. But the crime be alpha so. Me I've always had a problem with causing financial loss to the state. So I charge it. Honestly.
Questions and the first one that I would like to answer is the question on the registration.
$10,000. Nasabita frache sort as here. Young fan say 7 years ago. Then number say 4 point something. Why would you say? A dear no nipan bit me aye. Eh, uyi nyoma, omo can say uyi nyoma. Omo say omo fa exchange rate in a worky. Ye pedi oti GRA hono, and oti customs hono. No me country say your exchange rate no de worky. Mo the exchange rate and mo the worky duty a ye tua. Mo the exchange rate na worky duty a ye tua. Yes, $100. Ye di sika kakraka and ekosisa no. Ntu beton no ma wie na waboka. Mo da so te so se hwe bibi anko so. Oman ne ye. Bawumia di asembie no ba be ka kire. Di asembie no Bawumia be ka kire. O ka no krea na MPP fo na nkasa mi MPP ni. O ka no krea omum be so mbeti. E di na ekoso yi. Oman kitikiti te se Ghana. E se Ghana brese. Oman te se Ghana, e se Ghana brese. Oko Krobi Swat, the province. Ghana, kiti. Your gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese. Oil, oil account. Sebita fracho. Ya papa kufo ba no. So ti ase, oye bi mi ehu ye. Papa no ngu ye. Moti so na mo kasa. Papa ne ti ho. Adentina munko consult no na mo. Na o mai bre ne nkofo bre. Wo ankasa on me kasa. Anope wadidi. Mi bisa wadidi. Where did you na? Unidi ye. Edi antina no pay oba to say unidi ye. $10,000. Na sabita frache. Sort as here. Young fan say 7 years ago. Then the number say 4 point something. Why would you say? ɛdeɛ no nipa no bɛtumi ayɛ ɛha yɛn woyi nneɔma a ɔmo ka sɛ woyi nneɔma a ɔmo sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔmo mfa exchange rate no ɛwɛke yɛpɛ deɛ ɔte GRA hɔ no anaa ɔte customs hɔ no na ɔmɛka nkyerɛ sɛ nyɛ exchange rate na ɔmde wɛke mode exchange rate ɛna mode wɛke duty a yɛtua mode exchange rate na ɛwɛke duty a yɛtua yɛsesa $, a yɛde sika kakraka ɛna ɛkɔ sesa no nti wobɛtɔn nneɔma awie na wabɔka moda so te so sɛ hwee biribi ankɔɔ so ɔman no yɛ Bawumia di asɛm bio na ɔba bɛka kyerɛ di asɛm bio na Bawumia bɛka kyerɛ o ka no kure a na MPP foɔ na nkasa me yɛ MPP ni o ka no kure a ɔmo mpɛ so mbɛtie ɛdeɛ na ɛkɔ so yi ɔman kitikiti te sɛ Ghana ɛsɛ Ghana brɛsɛ ɔman te sɛ Ghana ɛsɛ Ghana brɛsɛ wokɔ kuro bi so a the province Ghana ɛyɛ kitikiti yɛwɔ gold diamond bauxite manganese oil yɛnyɛ oil account sɛbi tafrakyɛ o yɛ papa kufoɔ baeɛ no sɛ ɔte ase ɔyɛ bi mi yɛhu yɛ papa no ɔngu yɛ mote so na mo kasa papa no te hɔ ade nti na monkɔ consult no na ɔmmoa mo na ɔman ɛbrɛ ne nkurɔfoɔ brɛ wo ankasa a ɔne me kasa anɔpɛ wadidi mebisa a wadidi anaa wonidi yɛ ɛdeɛ nti na anɔpɛ ɔbaa te sɛ wonidi yɛ
mepakyɛw mede ama sɛwa me odo me market ya me pa cho me pese me ka je Nana Akufo-Addo say yen ma na ye kofa oye wo Togo no first no na mahama wo so no na o ma ye duty ne de anwane ba 12 cedis ne se ono no sa anwa gallon yenya duty 2 million se kura do so o me yan tworo nyanto ba se anwa gallon no mo fa no ho ahe mo de ba beton wa ha ahe ena mo tua ho duty 200 Ghana cedis me wa receipt bebre wo ha 12 cedis metimi ayi aba by say o si 2 million me am to me kan anwa ya seize wo aflawa border ya seize manwa 500 me wo ho papers 500 and brambacho oh ada what said na eh 500 yen pieces saying gallon no baako 500 Oma fawo ba o si anwa no me amfa me pese me bisa Nana Addo ne Bawumia se anwa na omu sizi ye no omu so omu me amfa no omu ahye Nana so omu aye ne dan me pese me hu anwa no me ko ye ne ani ho enti no omu ye ne dan na me makwaji low na maji manwa baako 500 ubisa obi a wa ha ye frɛ me Nana Addo maame ba ya feed ye se beto abade a mimi kwa kromoti na me de toma no na wa sizi manwa no se kokromotie no ebe kire de meto ama no why obia ni me de Nana Addo ma me asama mi kan mi wo me papers mi bibia o me a strong one people bi sa obia ni me enti mi bi pesa mi bisa Nana Addo ne Bawumia asama nwa no o ma season no e wan o ma hye Nana se o ma hwiahwia gu 500 pieces baako 500 hanum ai mi to baako 4 million wo usi enya duty 200 cedis Dabio duty no o ye ne baako bia so ana baako bia na anwa no koto no 400 o ye hu duty 200 e o baako bia ho o ya wasan de afaka de aba ti mi pese mi bisa ne se manwa no o misa custom for say ada so mbe ye duty ne makoje manwa se manwa 500 de me mfa nche wom uko ho a wo mo agi anwa no si ho no uko ho ko busa asa anwa no we no o mo kan sen ne kire o me ko ye no o mo si anwa no o mo season but one for one year who baby and one go be a who back one but next day Miss Ankoy not to create a load do and one. There be Nyanto was here. One must see and one, a catro so much easy. A dear chin, I will call you no. Flower be a mono, not to create a cassia, but see why a load do and one. Ne day. Send me who's our see and one at the eye, and I may come my better me. Se man who say baby and one pancho mame.
MPP will shift the focus of economic policy away from taxation to production. So we are going to move away from taxation to production. From taxation to production. The MP.
What has happened? If monies which should not be paid have been paid, 12 million is not small money, my sister. It's not small money. and we are taxing people. In fact, we are moving the country from taxation to robbery instead of to production that we were promised. Now we are robbing everybody. Even your money that you are using to pay them, they tax you on it. So this is robbery. We are robbing people and use it this way. I can't get it.
So we have to follow people who have vision. We don't have to follow people who think in terms of impossibilities. We think in terms of possibilities. When my opponent was in government, he abolished the nursing training allowances. And we said, we will restore the nursing training allowances. And we have restored the nursing training allowances. Can you trust my opponent with nursing training allowances? You cannot.
Ubodi Nawabo School. Then you ask your question. Then we go 4 questions, and His Excellency is ready to answer all your questions.
My name is Abdulalim Jaria, an nursing student from Techima Nkobo NMTC. The question I want to ask is, when are we getting Alawa? Since I started my school, since first year, I've not gotten Alawa until now, and I'm in my last semester now. And some of us are not being able to pay our school fees. Next week like this, we'll be writing our exams. Those who will not be able to pay their fees will be sacked. They wouldn't be allowed to write exams. So if the Alawa were given to us, they would have been able to pay their fees. So my question is, when are we getting Alawa?
Thank you. If I tell you some question, I know what to say. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, these are the questions from the youth of Bono East region. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those questions. I think the first question had to do with when we are getting Alawa for our this thing. So I think that is a question I will take to the Ministry of Finance. I wasn't sure of where you were with your Alawa, but I think that I will check with the Ministry of Finance immediately I return, and I will make sure that they pay you your Alawa if it has not been paid. I will
Purposes by the GRA. Can SML claim credit for the revenue increment in the sector?
If you look at what NPA is doing tank gauging and also metering, it is even much more sophisticated than what SML is doing. On top of that, they also have tank tracking. They're able to track the volumes on every tank from the depot to the filling station. If all of that is not addressing the leakages that we do have, just having electronic seals at the depot wouldn't be a more effective way to ensure that revenue is actually generated from the downstream sector.
The Fourth Estate also confronted the managing director of SML with the figures the company churned out as savings it made because of its operations. First was the claim in April 2021 that SML saved the state 1 billion Ghana cedis due to its operations.
If you use the 2019 as a base,
yes, yes,
subtract this one, you will get 1 billion for 2020.
It's 800 million.
Okay, about 800 million. Okay.
Yes.
The company started operations in 2020. From the revenue figures we obtained from the GRA, the difference in the total revenue from the downstream petroleum sector between 2019 and 2020 is 800 million cedis. If all the increment was attributed to the work of the company, it will still fall short of the 1 billion cedis it claimed to have saved. In February 2023, SML Ghana Limited again claimed that it had saved 3 billion cedis due to its operations. The company has admitted the services it listed on its website as curtailing irregularities in the sector did not exist and deleted them from the website. Even if SML was carrying out those services and all the incremental revenue within the period of its operations was credited to the company's efforts, the amount would be 2.4 billion cedis and not 3 billion cedis as it claimed to have saved. When we put these figures to the managing director, he made a shocking admission.
That's why that 3 billion, I'm not. That's why I told you from the beginning. I said I don't know about this 3 billion.
We cannot say your intervention saved 3 billion.
No, I said 3 billion. I'm not. I've told you that I'm not aware, because when we were told about the publication, we even called the.
As we speak this morning, still on your website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In fact, to be honest, I don't even know website matter.
Despite evidence that SML Ghana lied about the services it renders to the state and the amount of money it claimed to have saved, the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, this year decided that the company's contract should be expanded to cover the gold mining sector and the upstream petroleum production sector in Ghana. A contract cited by the Fourth Estate shows that SML Ghana is entitled to $0.75 per barrel of oil produced in Ghana. Ghana currently produces between 160,000 and 170,000 barrels of oil per day. The country is expected to add an additional 80,000 barrels per day from the Pecan oil fields, which is expected to be developed a little over a year from now. The company is also entitled to 0.75% of the total volume of gold produced in the country. Ghana last year produced 3.7 million ounces of gold. What this means is that per current arrangement, SML Ghana is entitled or will be paid over $100 million every year. This contract is for 10 years. The Ministry of Finance, the GRA, are yet to respond to our right to information request on these contracts. The regulator of the upstream sector, the Petroleum Commission, has however said it knows nothing about this contract. The Petroleum Commission also says it has no report on leakages or loss of revenue in the upstream sector. The reason this company is employed or contracted to monitor.
Recently, Talo, installed new metering systems that were calibrated by the Standards Authority. Is Finance Ministry saying that those metering systems went wrong, or is that the feedback they got from the Standards Authority that the meters that are already in place have problems? That requires that we bring in SML to now be the one that can accurately monitor petroleum production.
When asked what his advice to the Commissioner General of the GRA on the SML contracts would be if he was still the technical advisor, Mr. Soti said he could not answer.
That is not a question for me to answer. I'm not.
How do you charge secure connection that comes to our data warehouse here?
Players in the industry say real-time reading of loading at the depots means nothing because tax or revenue are not collected in real time. Besides, those figures by SML are not used by the revenue authorities to collect taxes or margins.
SML is being paid 5 pesos per liter for every product that is lifted from the depots. You do the simple math, that means they are paying in excess of about 21 million Ghana cedis every month, all right, for the work that they are doing. And that in itself is extremely questionable. What exactly is SML doing? What investment have they done to warrant the payment of such colossal amounts to them?
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 24th day of May 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Ghana cedi depreciation bites hard. Businesses call for urgent interventions. Government, TALO, sign emissions reductions purchase agreement. Our partner TUC for better workers' salaries. New Force Movement founder assures. Constituency Watch. Esikado Ketan, Dr. Dankwa dares Bisu for seat. The Ghanaian Times. Ahead of December elections, learn from Rwanda genocide. UNDP resident coordinator cautions Ghanaians. Government TALO signed landmark emissions reduction purchase agreement. Hope Sinadoya granted 20,000 Ghana cedis bail over claim of detonating dynamites. GEAG worried over mining in beleaguered forest reserves. Let's tackle obstetric fistula head on. First Lady. Daily Guide. AG fires NDC. I'm not persecuting Atuforcing. Hope Sinadoya gets 20K CD bail. Samira to launch World Share Expo 2024. No VAT deductions on SMO payments. KPMG. New Weekend Crusading Guide. Republic versus Kesela Atuforcing and two others. AG debunks bogus allegations by third accused. Konfanochi Teaching Hospital CEO under fire. Top lawyer petitions Otumfo to keep Professor Triadai Mensah away from Hill Konfanochi project. NPP Greater Accra Regional Chairman tours registration centers, advises NDC to stop raising false alarm. Information Minister visits New Crusading Guide as part of media tour. Aborichidan royal family challenges legitimacy of Kwesi Alagye. Stop parading, I'm sure it's yourself, as Goma Fete chief. The Insight. Adamu's mining resources saga. Lands Minister must explain failure to comply with court orders on IMC. Solomon Owusu. AG impressed on me to falsify my testimony to implicate Atuforcing, witness tells court. Dark days in Ghana as another Nkrumah legacy is erased. Genocide in Gaza. U.S. officials threaten sanctions over ICC warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant. The Herald. Justice Minister defiles Attorney General's department. Moves from judge shopping to witness bribing. Ex-Maslog boss trial also mentioned. Kendo Furiate's SML rot finally out, but unprofitable, in quotes. SSNIT Hotel pays 261,000 cedis acting allowance to CEO. NPP rebel, Hobson Adoye granted bail. Ghana's climate change agenda boosted by Talu. The Informer. Corruption fight, special prosecutor doing well, CDD declares. Terrorism fight on course as Baba Kamara officially introduced as ECOWAS special envoy. NCC cries for funds. Nigerian gets 10 years for drug trafficking. Fight against climate change. Government's land policies game changer. Minister. EC rebuffs secret registration claim. Towards accident-free Volta Lake transportation. Ecozoil donates life jackets to Germany boat owners. The Inquisitor. Sikasem trouble at La Palm. Over 3,000 monthly allowance for acting GM. Impeachment process against special prosecutor. It is unconstitutional. Who's saying this? Kwame Akufu, the lawyer. Ambassador Kamara introduced to President as ECOWAS special envoy on counter-terrorism. There is no such backlog. Dr. Atuforsin challenges Interior Minister. The Daily Statesman. Bold effort against deforestation. Government seals emissions reduction purchase deal with Talu. AG never coerced accused person in ambulance case. Ghana mobilizes $405,000 to combat obstetric fistula. Asante Ineji Siga to review mandates of SOEs to inform action. The New Finder, all set for CD mortgages for public sector workers upon Nkrumah. Ecobank Ghana named Ghana's best trade finance provider. Young women not ready to have kids urged to freeze eggs. And that's according to Dr. Edem Yaji of the Lister Hospital. NIA debunks NDC's allegations of issuing Ghana cards to minors. Daily Post. AG Godfrey Dami impressed on me to falsify my testimony to implicate Atuforsin, witness tells court. Atuforsin trial. Godfrey Dami's day of reckoning has come. Sami Jemfi. SML swallows 720 million cedis of S-less 2.45 billion cedis. KPMG report. FDAG condemns sale of SSNIT shares to Brian Achampon. The Catholic Standard. WA gets new bishop. Corruption in Ghana fueled by selfish gains. Pope Francis confirms women cannot be ordained deacons. Let's condemn same-sex marriage. Bishop Afuakwa. Humility, source of peace in the world and church. Pope Francis. Editorial. Will the Pualugu multipurpose dam ever see completion? And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Ohiansio kakere bi pe, emu no nkeka mu. Na ne hwam ne ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe.
Ye the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
Frital has sachets and in different sizes too.
You didn't know? These Frital sachets that we all use to fry our meat and fishes, to prepare our favorite meals, and to refill our empty original Frital bottles. Hey! Are you sure you are a fellow Ghanaian?
Get your trusted Frital sachets today for affordability, convenience, and for the refilling of your original Frital bottle.
Frital, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is...
In today's modern world,
Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. There'll be pages we love to read again and again, and some we want to tear out. They are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters, APSA.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Fortune's Friday, all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune's Friday, it's still on point. For your bread, it's creamy. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune's bread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune Spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Machasi.
A
smile,
the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's here. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan.
Ile kosan. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling when you know Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Mama, Papa is walking home.
Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Herbal Hospital. Hey baby, a sanya webia nanso yare etimi sapa dom pemu yare.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Herbal Hospital.
They came with grace and elegance, sophistication, sweetness and charm.
They came in contention for the Model International. Auditions are over, and 30 determined and magnetic personalities made it through to the next stage, the quarterfinals. But know this, their fate lies in your hands, as your votes will determine who will advance to the semi-finals. Miss Amopoka, Hyacinth, Brensa, Sweet Prissy, Jennifer, Pamela, Regina, Kukwa, Giata, Tina Walters, Tiana, Adoma, Abena, Gigi, Sedel, Rabonita, Jamila, Marvi, Araba, Tito, Melanin, Candy Gray, Benoa, Rajwa, Sicho, Lenny Megan, Mira Baby, Jifa, Doris, and Selassie.
What premium shall we place on our health? Is it to wait and get hit with a condition? Or on a daily basis, how do we check the body before health slips away? Living Well is the lifestyle series that will help you get tips to some health issues. My name is Ethel Poplampo. Join me every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Metro TV for the Living Well show.
More than 80% of global trade is carried by sea. Most of the products we consume daily travel through ports, making them a key link in the global supply chain. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is committed to ensuring the enhancement, resilience, and sustainability of port infrastructure and maritime trade. Get to know which vessel is bringing your goods, how much duty you are required to pay, and how quickly you can clear your goods from the ports of Ghana. We ask the relevant questions and elicit responses from the appropriate authorities. We interact with you via our social media platforms and put your queries across to the expert. Iron Port shows this and every Sunday live on Metro TV at 5:30 p.m. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by and powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Iron Port, transparency in doing business and building a nation.
Keys to your hood, give me the keys to your gate. Now, back in the days, people used to brag about their hoods, as in the flashiest cars, the hood that has the best of hottest girls, the hood that has the best of guys with the swag. Now, fast forward, we're in the 21st century. I still want to know what's popping in your hood. So here's the case where I walk in your hood majestically for you to tell me what actually makes your hood number one and the most unique. Welcome to Hood. My name is Miguel. You can call me the Abontin Prefect.
Welcome to our maiden edition of the Young and Smart Show.
Can sing than everyone.
It can do everything, but not everything.
My father was an importer from that country because she always jokes for me to laugh. And we let you are your now.
Are you tired as a consumer in Ghana when it comes to issues that confront you as a consumer? Worry no more. Coffee Capital, I'm here to give you the information, all that you need to make sure that your right is protected as a consumer. We have too many laws and agencies that should protect the right of the consumer. And I'm here to give you the information that will help and assist you to get goods and services delivered to you without any worries. Watch the Capito Show on Metro TV.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV with me. On the show this morning, I have the Honorable Member of Parliament for the North Stone constituency. He's also the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee in Parliament, the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Honorable, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Doc. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Okay, so Nana Akumia, who is the Vice Chair of Bawumia 2024 and also MD of STC, will join us shortly on the show. But if you're thinking of getting a toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, especially in these difficult times, the recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. KEL 360 toothpaste. Happy, smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs, especially when you're not exercising, could be challenging irrespective of your age, but worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and it comes in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lifts and Elevators at Sakumono or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right. So, Sammy, exactly a week ago, you broke the news about a petition that you had submitted that very morning to Shraj. And beyond that day, in the last 1 week, there have been quite a lot of developments. In fact, when you were telling us about a petition, you didn't tell us that you had gone to take fertilizer from the minister. And you didn't tell us that you had all the opportunities of asking him all the questions that you could ask him. And he just went to, acting in very bad faith, went to town. But what's the status of the case now? And what has happened over the last week? I've read a lot of interviews. I'm told that on one program, I don't know if it's Joy FM, you were actually on the show with the minister.
Yeah, Doc, let me...
And have you returned the fertilizers?
Let me begin by extending very warm Friday greetings to you and to our distinguished viewers across the world. I would like to convey sincere gratitude to you for the generosity last week. You gave us a lot of time to discuss this all-important matter, my complaint to Shraj on the imminent purchase of SSNIT hotels by Rock City Limited, a company owned by the Honorable Brian Champong, the serving Minister for Food and Agriculture. The incorporation documents in my possession confirm that he is the sole shareholder, the sole beneficial owner, and is one of 2 directors of Rock City. I would like to confirm to you that following my complaint to Shraj on Monday, the 20th of May 2024, Shraj promptly responded by this letter signed by the principal registrar of Shraj for the commissioner, Mr. Daniel Afechi, under the heading Petition against the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, and Honorable Brian Champong on the sale and prospective purchase of SSNIT 60% stake in Ace Hotel Investments. Dear Sir, I write in acknowledgement of your complaint brought before the Commission, dated 16th May 2024, and to respectfully inform you that the Commission will revert to you in due course. Yours sincerely, signed Daniel Afechi, Principal Registrar for the Commissioner of Shraj. So I can confirm to you this morning that Shraj has acknowledged the complaint, and by this letter, I am to hold myself in readiness to assist them in the investigations. I'm also reliably informed that Shraj has written to all the parties in the matter, to SSNIT and to the Honorable Brian Champong, to respond to the contents of my complaint. Doc, we also do know that on Sunday, the 19th of May, 2024, SSNIT also issued a statement following our discussions here on Friday last week. The statement was signed and issued by the management of SSNIT. And SSNIT by this was engaged and where they are at the moment. It is clear from the SSNIT statement that the fears that I held, that time is of essence in this matter, and that if I did not go public and I did not petition Shraj, this deal will have been sealed and finalized without public attention. This statement confirms that. Because if you read the SSNIT statement, paragraph 11, it states, the process of getting a strategic investor is in its final stages and therefore not yet concluded. So my intervention, going public and petitioning Shraj, is perhaps what will help protect those prized hotels, very valuable state assets as they are. You do know, Doc, that these are the finest hotels we have had as a country for decades. Indeed, as we speak, Labadi Beach Hotel is one of our foremost 5-star hotels. Paid dividends to government only last year, 25 million Ghana cedis in dividends. The year before, 10 million. Very profitable entity. We do know that La Palma as well has been profitable for many years until recently. Same for Elmina. And if you look at their prime locations, you look at the value of land These are not assets that should be treated shabbily, particularly when you are looking at workers' conditions. You are talking about their pensions after they have retired. SSNIT is a strategic investor that makes long-term investments so that as workers retire, it can be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, those investments should be able to take care of the contributions they have collected from our workers. So the SSNIT statement, even though the statement fails to respond to the core issues, SSNIT did not respond to the issue of conflict of interest. They did not respond to the issue of abuse of process. The fact that lawyers of minority shareholders at Ridge Royal have protested, and they have now belatedly written to them and trying to make good the terms of the first April 1999 shareholders agreement. SSNIT evades all of those matters. The constitutional requirements under Article 78 and Article 98, SSNIT did not respond to any of those. But I am glad that if you read paragraphs 12 and 13 of the SSNIT statement, we shall be delving into these matters when Shraj really opens the investigations. If you look at paragraph 12, the management of SSNIT states, it was mentioned on the Metro TV discussion that the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, has been petitioned to conduct a full-scale investigation into the sale of SSNIT hotels. 13, given the impending investigation by Shraj, management of SSNIT will not comment further. SSNIT will cooperate fully with Shraj throughout its investigation process. So, from this statement, we get a commitment from Shraj that, from SSNIT, pardon me, that they will fully cooperate with the Shraj investigations. That is what they must do legally, and I am looking forward to meeting them at the Shraj investigations. Then significantly, that same day, Monday, the 20th of May, Organized Labor held a press conference. Very significant development. And I have a copy of the press statement here, a 2-page statement.
So I want us to, first of all, we play this on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I want us to watch excerpts of that interview. Then you can pick the parts of the statement that you want
that is
to focus on.
Okay.
Should I go ahead? Yeah, thank you. We want government to know that these funds are not government funds. These funds are pension funds. And pensions are guarded by the Act 766. Issues with that statement. And we have our
hold the view that the process was flawed. Our reps on SSNIT board were very clear in their demand that for a number of reasons, the process be halted. But from all indications, it appears the process is going on. And in fact, they are even speeding it up. And we don't think that is right. We do not think that the regulations that guide the sale of state assets were followed. We do not think that the necessary due diligence was done. We cannot imagine that state properties will be sold to a minister of state. For us, it's smart of state capture, and that should be stopped, and stopped immediately. And if the Minister for Pensions, who is also Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, failed to stop SSNIT, we workers of Ghana, we own the funds. We will stop that process. We, at the May Day, requested that we wanted to meet with President on this matter. You may recall that we asked the president to convene a meeting with leaders of organized labor to discuss SSNIT, and this is one of it. And our reps on the board of SSNIT had intimated that things were going on that require the meeting between president and the leadership, and we didn't want to bring this up in public. We still insist that the president should make time for us to discuss this and many other issues about SSNIT that our reps had brought to our attention. May 6th, today is May 20th. We expect that the president will invite us as soon as possible, because there are many other issues that we need to raise. There are many other issues our reps have brought to our attention that we need to discuss with the president himself. We will not allow pension funds to be toyed with. And this is our last warning. This is the last warning to those who are in charge of this country, that workers of Ghana will not allow our pension funds to be used anyhow, especially when assets of the pension fund is going to be sold to the Minister of State. This is not right. As for your second question about this position on the proposed sale of 60% of SSNIT's stake in its investment in hotels. At a meeting held today, 20th May 2024, the workers' representatives on the Board of Trustees of SSNIT briefed the top leadership of organized labor about the proposed sale of 60% of SSNIT's interest in some hotels. The workers' representatives informed the leadership that they had collectively raised objections to the process and had advised that the process be halted. We in organized labor find it extremely difficult to understand why, first, SSNIT's interest in 6 hotels will be packaged and sold as if all the hotels are in the same financial situation. 2, we find it difficult to understand why the original proposal of the sale of SSNIT's interest in 6 hotels has now reduced to 4. We hold the view that this renders the whole process null and void. And 3, we find it difficult to understand why the proposed payment terms varied from the original MOU based on the recommendations of the transaction advisor. We also find it difficult to understand why SSNIT's interest in these hotels should be sold to a company owned by a Minister of State. We do not think that this is right.
Our due diligence was not done. And we, as the major stakeholders for pension funds, we must not sit idle. And I repeat, our pension funds are used for Chaskele. We will not allow it. We are not happy with the due diligence that was done. And that's why we are calling that it should be cancelled immediately. Issues with that statement, and we have outlined our issues in our statement. We don't agree with that assertion. We think proper due diligence was not done, and we, as the major stakeholders for pension funds, we must not sit idle. And I repeat, our pension funds are used for Chaskele. We will not allow it. We are not happy with the due diligence that was done. And that's why we are calling that it should be cancelled immediately.
All right, so this is excerpts of organized labor's thing. So you can conclude on the first.
Yes, so I'm glad that you have played the footage from that significant press conference organized by the TUC Secretary General, Dr. Yauba, and the Clocksack boss, Dr. Bampuado. It is clear, listening to them, that contrary to claims last week, you recall that last week, our good friend Nana Akomia sought to suggest that there are reps on the board and they haven't complained, so probably I am crying louder than the bereaved and may not have basis, since we haven't heard from the reps on the board that they are probably okay with the transaction. It is now confirmed beyond any scintilla of doubt that organized labor do not and has not supported this transaction throughout the process. And indeed, if you read the statement at the briefing from the reps on the board to the leadership of organized labor, they stated emphatically, quote, the workers' representatives informed the leadership that they had collectively raised objections to the process and had advised that the process be halted. So this is not a matter of everybody agreeing, the key stakeholders, those who are reps of organized labor on the board, seeing nothing wrong, and that I am coming from outside and trying to create mischief. It is now settled beyond any iota of doubt that organized labor is vehemently and has always been vehemently opposed to this transaction. Of course, questions arise as to what options were available to organized labor, to their reps on the board. You heard the TUC Secretary General say that they didn't even know that the process was so far advanced, that they thought that when they had asked at the board that the process be halted, they thought that it had been halted, and they were waiting for a meeting with the president. They had requested a meeting with the president. Indeed, I am aware that after this press conference, they sent a separate petition to the Jubilee House reminding the president of their demand for a meeting. Now, you heard organized labor at that press conference say that they have been concerned about a number of issues at SSNIT. During the week, I have been serializing further documents which should give credence to what organized labor is talking about and more. You know that my strategy has been never to put out all the documentations. There's still a lot more we'll be putting out in the coming days. And if you look at an earlier transaction, details of which I have put out, the 2022 purchase of Kumasi Catering Hotel by the Rock City Hotel,
Catering Guest House,
the Catering Guest House, which is now called the Grand Regency Hotel. So SSNIT has 25% shares in that hotel. I have, over the last few days, put out details of that transaction, the minutes, the final minutes of negotiations, dated 16th March 2022, the meeting chaired by Mr. Kofi Osafumafu, Deputy Director General. And it's interesting that virtually all the documentation I have from within SSNIT, Mr. Kofi Osafumafu is the one who's been leading all of this. Yes, and he appears really trigger happy about these transactions, and is now set to seal the deals as the Director General, with his boss having been disgracefully removed. Now, if you look at the facts of the 2022 transaction, you see that the 25% shares of SSNIT, valued at 8.6 million, that is not the value that Rock City bought it at. From the minutes, and indeed I have the final confirmation, the payments from Rock City.
The evaluation was done in cedis.
It was done in cedis, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you read the 16th March 2022 minutes carefully, you see that Mr. Kofi Osafumafu reveals that their independent valuers have brought their figure of the 25% shares. It's 8.6 million. Then, during the meeting, they indicate that they would like to peg that figure to the dollar because of how the currency is depreciating. Rock City refused. They then also said that, why not make sure that payments are done according to the prevailing exchange rate. Rock City refused. If you read the minutes, it's as though Rock City was the one calling the shots. Now, what is shocking is that eventually they allow Rock City to agree to pay 7.4 million. So ab initio, Ghanaian workers, SSNIT, loses 1.2 million because 8.6 million.
But did the minutes tell you why they agreed on a figure below the valuation figure?
The minutes, as I have indicated, you see Rock City just really calling the shots. Say, no, we don't like this. We won't do this. We will not accept this. Take, for example, Mr. Chum's insistence that they peg this to the dollar. And Mr. Samuel A. Chum is General Manager, Investment and Development, SSNIT. Page 2 of the minutes provides. Mr. Chum followed with a suggestion that the sale price should have been in United States dollars and pegged at the current dollar rate to the cedi. This was declined by the Rock City team. He further insisted on his earlier submission, arguing that the Rock City Ghana makes an offer in US dollars. This was again declined.
That's negotiation. Everybody's seeking their interest.
Yeah, good. So who is seeking the interest of workers? And
SSNIT.
who is
SSNIT should be.
And why should SSNIT not be insistent? So when we make the case that looking at the track record, the unholy alliance between SSNIT and Rock City, we don't have confidence that there will even be value for money, apart from the fact that fundamentally, Rock City, the Honorable Brad Champo, should be nowhere near this transaction. I have always maintained, for more than 16 years, that ministers of state, public officials, should not partake in the sale of government assets, of state assets. I've always maintained. The records at the Supreme Court is clear. Always maintained. And look, civil society organizations, I have heard Professor Yanka, I've heard Professor Jimandia, virtually everybody who has spoken on this matter say that it is wrong. It's wrong. Public officials, ministers of state should go nowhere near these transactions. And look, it is not for just cosmetic reason. It wasn't for just cosmetic reason that in our constitution, Article 78, Article 98, MPs, ministers of state, you need permission from the speaker if you want to hold office of profit, if you want to engage in transactions of this nature. So the afterthought now that, I'm a non-executive director, makes no difference.
Maybe let's leave that to Shraj.
Yeah, so Shraj to determine. But it makes no difference. Look, you are the sole beneficial owner. You are the sole shareholder. I mean, when Rock City makes profit, where does it go to? Where do the profits go to? So these claims don't hold water. And if you look at what happened at the Grand Regency Hotel in Kumasi, we are absolutely convinced that there will be no value for money in this transaction, apart from all the other fundamental and constitutional issues we have raised. Then I have also, in the course of the week, put out a lot more intercepted documents. I have put out very shocking details about how the transaction advisor was selected and the cost to SSNIT. You have seen that document. So the transaction advisor is SEM Capital. And by a letter from the Central Tender Review Committee dated 24 December 2019, the Central Tender Review Committee writes, the committee acknowledges receipt of SSNIT's response in a revised evaluation report addressing the issue raised. Based on documentation presented to the committee, concurrent approval is hereby granted SSNIT to engage the recommended tenderer, Messrs. SEM Capital, at a contract price of $491,986 United States dollars, inclusive.
Why is this contract indexed in dollars?
Great question. So when SSNIT is engaging others, is going to pay a transaction advisor, they are paying in dollars. When Brad Champon is coming to buy their hotel, they sell it in cedis. That one, as soon as Brad Champon refuses, I'm not paying you in dollars. They say, okay, we beg you. Sorry for raising it. You pay in cedis.
I mean, even index in dollar payable in cedis.
Yes. No, they didn't. They said, no, we are not indexing. And yet, the same deal, you are paying the transaction advisor in dollars. And look at the quantum. SSNIT that claims that we are struggling, we are in financial difficulty. I've spoken to many experts. They say that, look, this tops should not go beyond $100,000. Many experts, $50,000 to $100,000. Only this morning on my way here, I listened to lawyer Senanu, who co-chairs the Civil Society Coalition against corruption. He said he's been doing this. He's a known transaction advisor. To him, he will not charge anything beyond
$500,000.
Yes, and yet SSNIT is happy.
Did he apply?
Well, he didn't say if he applied. No. He didn't say. But whether he applied or not, we should be concerned. You are allowing others to deal with you in cedis. As soon as they say objection, you apologize, you drop it. They are paying you in cedis. And even that paying in installments, we are getting no value. See how fast the cedi depreciates. And then $500,000 in US dollars. But you see, that is not all. If you pay careful regard to these central tender review documents I have put out, there's a very interesting development. So when SSNIT sent the evaluation report to the Central Tender Review Committee, the review committee, signed by David Quist, 20th December 2019, sends this response. All-in consultancy services for a transaction advisor for SSNIT diversity office hotels in Ghana. Please refer to the letter number PMSSA 036 and dated 12 December 2019, which was submitted on the above subject. The committee at ECC third sitting on Thursday, 19 December 2019, reviewed the Social Security and National Insurance Trust evaluation report and notes the failure of one evaluation panel member to sign the report. SSNIT is hereby requested to ensure that the panel member signs the report as a condition for granting concurrent approval. Signed, David Quist. So I'm still
Was this done?
Yes, it was done later on, and then they came for. But the question is, why did this panel member refuse to sign?
But you say he subsequently signed.
No, they went back and presented another evaluation report. So we are looking for this panel member who did not sign and who refused to sign. We are looking for him or her. So a lot of strange things are happening at SSNIT. Very, very strange things. Now, I have also put out during this week further documentation. You see, in the SSNIT statement that they put out on the 19th of May, SSNIT left out a very vital information when they stated the chronology. SSNIT concealed from the Ghanaian public that they have asked the transaction advisor to grant Rock City unfettered access to the hotels. Let me read 1st November 2023. This is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Golden Beach Hotels, Ghana. And the Golden Beach Hotels are La Palm and then Elmina. Attention, Nana Dumtie Onwona Kwachi. Dear Madam, due diligence by Rock City Hotel. This is to bring to your attention that Rock City Hotel has been selected as a preferred strategic investor for La Palm Royal Beach Hotel and Elmina Beach Resort. As part of the negotiation process, Rock City Hotel is required to conduct a final due diligence on La Palm Royal Beach Hotel and Elmina Beach Resort. Rock City Hotel's due diligence request list has been attached. The names and contact details of Rock City's hotel representatives are, and it provides them Jessica Krenzel, Anita Boachi, Louisa Okain. Please assist them accordingly. Counting on your usual cooperation. Thank you. Yours faithfully. This is signed by Ebenezer Banks, transaction advisor for SSNIT. 7th December 2023, Rock City then writes to these hotel managers. Due diligence by Rock City Hotel for strategic investment. We are pleased to inform you that Rock City has been selected as a preferred strategic investor for La Palm, Royal Beach Hotel, and Elmina Beach Resort. We are enthusiastic about the prospect of a successful partnership and believe that our strategic partnership will yield mutual benefits. As we move forward with the negotiations, one crucial step in the process is to conduct a final due diligence on La Palm Royal Beach Hotel and Elmina Beach Resort. The purpose of this due diligence is to ensure that both parties have a comprehensive understanding of the current operational, financial, and legal status of the hotels. Upon receipt of the required documents, our team of experts will conduct a thorough review, which may include but will not be limited to financial records, operational procedures, and legal documentation, to facilitate a smooth and efficient due diligence process. We kindly request your cooperation in providing the necessary information as well as access to relevant personnel, counting on your usual cooperation. Thank you. So, whilst at the board, organized labor, all their reps have said, halt the process. We have concerns. Wait. You see, as recent as 7 December 2023, Rock City is engaging the management of these hotels, demanding documents, meeting their personnel. And SSNIT conceals this very important information from the Ghanaian public. When Ghanaians ask for full disclosure, do just that, full disclosure. Don't conceal vital information. So, this information has been added to the Shraj petition to make the case that, look, this deal is being finalized. They are moving on. So, urgency is required. Look, it's been about a week. We broke this story here last Friday. All of us must be shell-shocked that a whole week, not a single statement from government on this matter, from the president.
Why must he speak?
Why shouldn't he?
SSNIT, the entity, has issued a statement.
It's not good enough.
And says it's going to cooperate with Shraj.
It is not good enough.
Should that not be enough?
It's not good enough. Look,
why?
Civil society organizations, the academia, former SSNIT director generals, all the experts who have spoken on this matter have said that the president must step in. Look, organized labor at their press conference, they didn't mince words. They said the president, these are all his appointees. As for SSNIT, they will continue to do what they want to do and will try to justify their actions. Who supervises? You are the boss. You are the president, commander-in-chief. These are all your agents and assigns. They act in your name. They just have delegated authority. And this is the president who told us that as for him, he will take very strong exception to people coming into his government and doing business. Have you forgotten? He said that those who want to do business, who want to make money, they should stay in the private sector. That's where money is made. Now your cabinet ministers, your appointees, are doing brisk business, fat business. They want all our hotels. And you are silent. You are quiet. It's been a week. And the president has not intervened in this matter.
All right.
Look, as I conclude, Doc, I have been at the center of very, very unfair attacks.
By who?
The Honorable Brother Champon himself on Joy FM.
Oh, but you were on the show with him?
Yes.
So you had the opportunity of defending yourself?
Yeah, and I did.
So that's not fair. And he didn't say it behind you.
And no, it's the contents of what he said. You know, and if you listen to a lot of the MPP communicators, they have sought to present me as anti-Ghanaian business, anti-Ghanaian investors, a mischief maker. They have even brought my 16 years ago matter with the Honorable Jacob Echebilamte and making all kinds of unfounded claims about that case. Look, for the benefit of your viewers, and I'll leave these copies with you, I have brought all the rulings and judgments in the Honorable Jacob Echebilamte case. For 2 years, the lawyers of the Honorable Jacob Echebilamte raised a preliminary objection at the Supreme Court that this case should be dismissed. Some of the things they are saying today, oh, it's frivolous, it's just a personal attack, it should be thrown out. By a 9-0 decision, the Supreme Court threw them out, rather, and said that there is merit in our case, we have basis to proceed, we should be heard. They are not talking about that. 10th November 2011, I have that ruling here. The quorum was Atuguba JSC, who presided, Sofa Akufu, JSC, Brobe JSC, Adenyera, JSC, Owusu, Doche, JSC, Bafubone, Ahite, JSC, Akoto Bamfu, Mrs. JSC. 9-0. They said that, they even commended us, Dr. Mani Bawumia and I, that these are the kind of citizens that should be encouraged and that we should proceed, we should open our case. So the things they are saying today, that, oh, it was such a frivolous matter, we were thrown out and all of that. Yes, in the final judgment, we didn't win on some technicalities. It was a 6-3 decision. But you see, I'll conclude with what Sofa Akufu JSC said. It was as if she was prophesying. Mm-hmm. When she delivered her dissenting judgment. She was in the minority, the 3.
Okay.
Yes. And she predicted that this day will come.
What did she say?
Akufu MSJSC, and I'm reading from the judgment of 22nd May 2012. I have been privileged to read beforehand the opinion read herein by my learned brother Atuguba JSC, and for the reasons he gives therein, I am in full agreement with his conclusions. However, there are a number of observations that I wish to make concerning a number of matters of particular concern to me. Firstly, I have become extremely concerned of late that in the handling of matters involving the interpretation and or enforcement of our Constitution, there is a growing tendency for this court to become, in my view, unnecessarily ensnared by the particularities and specificities of the facts of the suit and technicalities of the manner in which it has been pleaded. The big picture being constitutional interpretation and enforcement and its necessary legal impact, not only on the individual parties to the suit, but more importantly, also on the generality of the Ghanaian citizenry for the present and future. For the present and future, it seems to me, sometimes tends to become of secondary importance. In my humble view, it is incumbent on this court, whether a matter comes before it by way of a writ invoking its original jurisdiction, to trawl through the pleadings in a quest to identify the core constitutional questions in issue, rather than just what the parties claim to be matters in issue. In the instant matter, the real issue was unfortunately obfuscated. Furthermore, once this court has determined that its jurisdiction has been properly invoked, it behoves it to ensure that the purpose of the court's original jurisdiction is not defeated by technicalities or procedural errors that do not amount to miscarriage of justice. The primary concern being to serve the greater interests of the citizens of the Republic of Ghana. In this matter, the core issue was whether or not in the administration and management of public lands, the government and the Lands Commission had proceeded in accordance with the Constitution or had in any respect contravened any part of it, in word or in spirit. That the proper administration and management of the land and natural resources of Ghana is of crucial importance is evidenced by the sheer fact that a whole chapter is reserved for in this Constitution. My brother Atuguba discusses quite extensively in his opinion herein the rationale for such treatment, and in particular the raison d'etre for the establishment and structure of the Lands Commission. I will therefore not belabor that point. All I wish to add is that the Lands Commission is not intended to be a mere rubber stamp of ministerial fiat, but rather an important catalyst for sound land policy formulation, administration, and management. When that role is not allowed to operate, or when the arrangements made in the Constitution for for guiding land management and administration are ignored, and the institutions that have been specifically earmarked to function in relation to these responsibilities are for whatever reason ousted or sidelined, then we have operations and activities that are not in consonance with the Constitution. In this case, one of the clearest manifestations of non-compliance with the Constitution was the controlling role played by the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing, to the virtual exclusion of the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, to whom the Constitution has assigned such role. Finally, in fulfilling our task herein, it was incumbent upon us to take into due account Article 257, which vests public lands in the President on behalf of and in trust for the people of Ghana, including lands vested in the government for the public service of Ghana or acquired in the public interest, and Article 258, which establishes the Lands Commission and spells out in remarkable detail its functions and modus operandi. We also needed to take into account provisions such as Article 25 and 6, which in my view unfetter the manner in which the functions under Articles 257 and 258 may be exercised, so as to protect public lands, and in particular lands acquired by the Republic for specified use, such as lands in issue in this matter. Whilst the court cannot instruct or dictate to the government what policies it may take, the Constitution gives us the power, when called upon to do so, to examine such policies, to ensure that they are indeed in consonance with its provisions. That is part of our role in assuring good governance, and we must never shirk from it.
All right. Okay.
God bless you, Akufo.
All right. So, Nana, we'll take a break. And then when we return, we'll hear you on this matter. I'll be back shortly.
Fortune rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mom tie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede, ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
Ye dan jama wo simpa na foforo no a, wodi nnura ahoro a ebo ma yi nkikaya asoro no adi.
Sham. Emma wonsa ho nhihyew. Ena epu ehuro nsu yi. Eyi nkekaya nkasa.
Oh, I still to be.
The Jamal washing powder for furnace sachets akesi enum aba. Eyi nkekaya nkasa.
Anima.
Jamal washing powder bottle 30. Kanyama odebeji awari.
New Jamal washing powder. Emanyama niti ne musu ye hwam. Wo hokafo a oma won tade niti. FDA aje edwede nkrato yatum.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch is spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is spread, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to Elboth Welcome. In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks use of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Mama, Papa is walking home.
Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Herbal Hospital. Baby, a Samuel will be here. And so, Yadi, Sapa,
spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Herbal Hospital.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe, emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu eduane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yato.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Nana Bawumia and Samuel Kujatua Blackout. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, God and Mullah got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on our networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, the Akosomo down be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18. Is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190-055-001-0000. Nana?
Yeah.
SSNIT Hotels.
Well, Randy, you must forgive me. I'm recovering from a cold, so my voice is not as it used to be. So you must
it's lost the olive oil.
Yeah. So you must forgive me. And,
we're happy you were able to make it.
Yeah. Now, last week,
yes,
Samuel Kujato brought up this matter of the SSNIT selling a percentage of their shares in some of these hotels, and he thought that there has to be some investigation, particularly because of the person who is reported to have won the bid to buy the SSNIT hotels. And, you know, all of us said, well, these are public properties, and under normal circumstances, we expect that the disposal of public properties should be done in a transparent way. I mean, in every normal transaction. More so when the person involved is somebody who we can describe as politically exposed. I mean, I am a politically exposed person. Samuel Kujato is a politically exposed person. Even you, we can put you as a politically exposed person. So if any of us are involved in any transaction that involves the sale of public assets, you want to make sure that the process is even more policed, that the person involved hasn't used his position, his or her position, to influence the process. So when Samuel Kujato brought this up, all of us were in support that there has to be, if Samuel Kujato suspects that the process is flawed or could be flawed, and because of the personality involved, why not? Let's go into it. Because all of us want to see transparency and accountability, especially when there's public property involved. So there's no problem. And I had cautioned him that he has to be careful not to pass judgment. Because if you establish criminality, then you don't ask for investigation, you go to court. Now after that, SSNIT has responded, and there's been all kinds of interested commentary on it. So the matter is, and Sami has told us that SHRAG has received the petition and they've acknowledged, so we expect that SHRAG will go into it, and SHRAG will do an investigation and bring us results that will guide us, you know. So really, I don't have an issue at all. But because of the commentary that have arisen, various issues have come up. Now, two things. Are we saying that the process has been flawed, or a politically exposed person? I mean, we are worried because it seems like a politically exposed person won the bid. So there are two issues. Is it that the process is flawed? If the process is flawed, then it doesn't matter who the person who won the bid is. The process is flawed. And if we can show that the process is flawed, it's flawed.
Labour takes both positions.
Labour seems to take both positions.
Yes.
That the process is flawed.
So do I.
Okay, so the process is flawed, and two, even if the process is not flawed, it should not be sold to a politically exposed person.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and then when you listen to as you were playing the footage of the Labour, I was trying to make some notes as to what you were saying. Now, and the TUC General Secretary, I heard him say that the process, he says they do not think that the process has been followed, and that they do not think that due diligence too has been followed. So he doesn't show us.
And that their reps on the board raised issues. They had preliminary objections to the thing and asked for it to be halted. Unknowing to them, unknowingly, SSNIT was continuing with the process.
Okay.
And so on the basis of that, on May Day, they requested to meet the president, and it wasn't just.
Yes, I heard all of that. The process being flawed, and the sentiment that some monies are being misused, SSNIT monies are being misused, because they said that state property cannot be sold to a minister. We will not allow pension funds to be toyed with. Okay. Randy, let me see if I can look at the issues one by one.
Okay.
As for SSNIT investments, over the years, you can make a good case for SSNIT to divest itself from control of businesses. You can make a good case for it over the years. Look, SSNIT owns Allowances. You know Allowances?
Yes, Tema.
Yeah. We all know
they still own it.
Yes. We all know the situation with Allowances today. They are losing money. So they are losing pension funds as we speak. SSNIT used to own HFC with Bank of Ghana and SIC. They've divested the shares, and now they just have a little bit of it. It's now Republic Bank. SSNIT is now making money after they divested the shares, the controlling shares, and now they are making money from HFC, now Republic Bank. Do you know, you remember the Trust Bank?
Yes.
It used to be owned by SSNIT.
Yes.
They were losing money, big time. It was bought by EcoBank. SSNIT divested the shares. Since EcoBank bought Trust Bank, they've been paying dividend to SSNIT, shoring up pension monies. Indeed, the dividend that EcoBank pays to SSNIT as a result of buying the shares in Trust Bank is more than what SSNIT gets from all the hotel investments. You know, SSNIT used to own SSB, Social Security Bank, those days. And this is over a long period. SSNIT used to own SSB, Social Security Bank. They were not making anything. It was bought by Societe Generale. And they started paying SSNIT dividend. Even though the shares had been reduced, they were getting some money from it. SSNIT used to own Merchant Bank. We all know what happened to Merchant Bank. Eventually, 2014, it was bought by Fortis. And now it is now called Universal Merchant Bank. SSNIT is now making money from it. You take
just clarify something for me. If they sell, how do they continue to make money?
They still have shares.
Okay.
Yes.
So they sold part.
They sold part.
Okay.
But this one, they are selling part. So the controlling interest, when they have controlling interest, they don't make money. It's when they divest their shares and to a majority shareholder and get some 30%, then they get dividends. They shore up pension funds. Look, you take La Palme, since SSNIT bought it from the original group. They spent over $50 million in buying the place and all of it, and the investment. They haven't gotten 2 cedis from La Palme as we speak. So pension monies is being lost as we speak. Go to Busua Beach, owned by SSNIT. They can't even pay electricity bills at Busua Beach. Electricity, they can pay. As we speak. Go to Elmina Beach Hotel. The rooms are empty. You go there, you cannot sleep there. The last time I was there 3 years ago, I was so upset. Elmina Beach.
is losing money big time. In fact, the last time SSNIT went to the Public Accounts Committee, they were told to speed up getting an investor and reducing their shares. When they went to Public Accounts Committee, Auditor General, look at Auditor General's report when it comes to these hotels. So the case that some pension, my friend from AID would not allow pension funds to be toyed with, and would not allow Charles Kelly, my good friend, was saying, it is like rather SSNIT is losing money through this sale. No. The records show clearly that these businesses are costing the pensioner monies. Lapam, Elmina, Busua, even Labadi. Labadi was losing money up to 2017. Then they changed the management and brought in some local management. But even Labadi, if you look at the return on the investment, it's not much. Even Labadi. But for the rest, they are losing money big time as we speak. So pensioners' money is being drained. And when you look at the record of SSNIT divestment of its shares, they are making monies from the divestment where they don't have controlling shares. And you know the reasons.
Because they don't manage.
You see, because once SSNIT has controlling shares, government or whoever is going to appoint MD and all of that and all of that and all the problems. This is it. So the economic case for SSNIT to remove itself from controlling shares cannot be faulted. The figures are there. So this business about they are toying with pension funds and they are playing Charles Kelly is neither here nor there. And when you look at the record of SSNIT divestments from HFC, Trust Bank, Merchant Bank, SSB, right through, you see that they started making money when they gave away their controlling shares. Now these hotels are losing money. It makes sense that they divest controlling shares. So what is the issue now? The issue now should be, how is the process managed? And the person who bought it. Let me look at the person who bought it first. Now, Samuel Kujato also says that it should not be bought by a politician. I am neutral in the matter once the process is fair. Because politicians engage in business, don't they?
Yes.
They engage in business.
Yes, if they follow the rules.
Yeah. You engage. If you are a lawyer and you come into politics, let's say you are a minister or a member of parliament, and you still want to continue private practice as a lawyer, you are allowed. You apply, you state it that I'm so and so, I'm a lawyer, or I have a business here, and the speaker permits you to engage in your business. So politicians are allowed to do business. It is not a crime.
Once they follow
the due process. When I went to Parliament, I had gone in literally straight from school, just 1 or 2 years after school. So I didn't have a business of my own. I was working in a company, so I resigned. So I didn't have a business of my own to apply to the speaker to continue the business. But all the people who were there, medical doctors, consultants, lawyers, they all applied because they already had their businesses running and they were given permission. So politicians can do business. Now, what is the procedure, the process? My understanding is that the bid of Brian Achiampong with his Rock City Hotel is at least $20 million more than the second bidder. At least $20 million more than the second bidder. So, if Brianna Chiampo is qualified to bid, unless somebody is going to show, we are now going to decide that a politician should not engage in business at all, then all of us are clear. I don't even want to politicize it by talking about a lot of politicians who have also bought state properties. Last week I gave you some information on that, but I don't even want to politicize it. But if the decision is that once you are a politician, you should not engage in any business, then all of us are clear. But otherwise...
No, it says, I think if it's in response to what Samir is saying, he's talking about acquisition of state assets. He's not talking about engaging in business.
But you see, how do you...
It raises the conflict of interest question.
Yes, but that is why there's a procedure. That's what I'm saying. Because of the potential conflict of interest, that is why I support an investigation. Let's go into how the process was conducted to ensure that Brianna Chiampo did not exercise undue influence. That is what I am interested in.
Do you agree that he should first of all have complied with the requirement of seeking permission, applying for, and being given permission in order to engage in any office of profit?
Oh, he hasn't applied?
He hasn't. That is what Okuyato said last week.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't applied?
Yeah, that was the case
he confirmed when we met on Joy.
But if he hasn't applied...
He confirmed that he hasn't applied.
No, but that's...
I have the full list of
47. No, that's a technical thing. If he hasn't applied, but he can always apply. You understand? Yeah, but I'm saying you can always apply. So let's say he has been late. But that is a technical thing that he hasn't applied. That is different.
Legal requirement.
Yes, but I'm saying that is different from saying that there's conflict of interest. Because that conflict of interest means that because he's a politician, he probably would use undue influence over the process.
It is at the center. It is because of conflict of interest. That's what that provision is. Can I read 78.3?
No, I know. I have applied for that.
Yeah, because of conflict of 78.3.
No, if he hasn't, if you say that,
that's one of the requirements
if you
for
say
Parliament
that,
to check.
If you say that he hasn't gotten the Speaker's permission to do business,
yes,
that's different from saying a politician. So what you're saying is that if he had applied and gotten that permission, then he can do it. That's what you're saying.
No, I have said that no politician should be allowed.
But that's your personal view. That's why you're not talking about law.
Yes, my personal
so
view.
Your personal
and
view
that's
is
why
that
there's a private members bill in the works that I'm sponsoring.
But as we speak,
to deal with that.
Yeah.
But as we speak, I'm raising issues of conflict of interest
because of
the process, his involvement, and related to he not complying with Article 78.
So the conflict of interest, Shrag will deal with it.
Yeah.
Shrag will go through it and see.
Why it's gone there.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Shrag would establish if indeed the process was skewed in favor of Brianna Chiampo because of his position. So that one, we will look at it. We are all confident that Shrag will do a transparent job, and all the parties will go there and they will go through the process. I don't have a problem with that. But as to the issue that he shouldn't have been allowed to take part because he's a politician. If you look at the adverts, nobody said that you can't take part if you're a politician.
They say because he's a government official.
Nobody said that if you are a government official, you can't take part. How long do you stay in government? In another 6 months, Brianna Chiampo will be out of government. So if the law or the regulation is that don't take part if you are a politically exposed person, then we know that from the beginning. We know that from the beginning, and so we are clear in our minds. But that's not what we have.
What do you make of Labour's assertion that their reps on the board reported to them that they raised issues with the transaction?
What issues did they raise?
Okay, they didn't give us those details. Okay. But they told us that their reps raised issues and asked that the process be halted until those issues are resolved.
You know, these Labour chaps, they are my friends.
Yeah, they listed some of the concerns.
What are some of the concerns?
So we find it extremely difficult to understand why, one, SSNIT interest in 6 hotels will be packaged and sold as if all the hotels are in the same financial situation. And
so it's an issue they raise?
It's an issue they raise.
Okay.
2, the original proposal of the sale of SSNIT interest in 6 hotels has now reduced to 4. We hold the view that this renders the whole process null and void. Because
there's been an amendment of the process along the way.
Along the way, so you should have started afresh. That's what the.
But 1 second.
That's what the.
If you thought that all the hotels should not be put in one basket, and so some have been removed, and they're not listening to you. From what you yourself you are reading.
No, that's not what they're saying.
That's what they say. Listen, 1 second, please. SSNIT, we find it difficult to understand. SSNIT interest in the 6 hotels will be packaged and sold as if all the hotels are in the same financial situation.
Yes.
2, the original proposal has now been reduced to 4.
Yes.
Now, in your first, you said that all the 6 should not be put in the same basket.
Yes.
So if it was reduced to 4,
yes.
Are they not taking a cue from you?
No,
but
that was after.
Unless you're saying that, unless you want to suggest, unless you want to suggest that the 2 that were taken out were taken out on the basis of what they raised.
But
it was not the basis.
No, 1 second. You say that you raise objection to the 6.
Yeah.
To putting all the 6 together. As if
now you are saying that why should it be reduced to 4?
Yes. Because you started raising issues with the procurement.
Okay. Law. Anyway. Okay. And then what else are they saying? The
procurement law requires that when you start a particular process and it changes, you must start.
Now they're saying that the proposed payment terms varied from the original MOU.
Yes.
Based on the recommendation of the transaction advisor.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a value for money issue.
And I'm saying to you that I know that Brian Achiampong, his bid is at least $20 million more.
How do you know that?
Yeah, but Nana, you are saying a different thing. You're saying a different thing. The fact that
your bid can be more, but that's not what.
The fact that in a bidding process, one bid is higher than the other does not mean that that value meets the valuation.
Exactly.
The point that Labour is raising is that there was a valuation of the assets, and that whatever is being agreed upon does not meet that valuation.
What was the valuation?
Well, they've not told us, and you have also not told us. You see, what the comparison we are giving us, Nana, is that you are comparing 2 bids.
The bids,
yes. But what should be happening
is that bids could even be lower than the valuation.
So what we should be comparing is whether, because Labour's point is not that his bid was lower.
But Labour's point is that they are not even talking about the valuation and the bid.
Yes.
They say payment terms.
Yes. Yeah.
They say the payment terms varied from the original MOU.
Right.
That means there was an MOU already signed.
Yes.
Between who? So there must have been an MOU signed between parties.
True. Yeah.
And you say that the payment terms have been varied.
Yes. Is that not a valid position to take? Is that not a valid concern?
The investigation by SHRAG will show.
Right.
But for now, since we're all just making a comment, I'm saying that when it comes to value for money, Achiampong's bid was at least $20 million more than the second bid. So
no, maybe he has information.
Well, are you the only person with information?
Maybe he has information. Unless you have contrary information.
Unless you have contrary information. So what do you have? No, what do you have? No, what do you have? Well, what do you have? What do you have?
You want to see what I have?
The king of transparency and accountability. You ask me.
I follow a timetable. You know that.
So when are you going to release that one?
The man is engaged in a rope and dope.
Muhammad Ali.
Let me follow my timetable.
So when are you going to release the bids? Tomorrow?
Don't worry.
So, Randy.
Yes, Nana.
I'm saying that in terms of the bidding, Achiampong's bid is at least 20 million more than the second bidder. The second bidder it's a company that is famous with estate construction. I don't want to mention the name. It starts with a D. their bid is 20 million less than Brian Acheampong.
Okay.
In fact, there's some feeling that Acheampong's bid is too much.
Okay.
But that is it. And the record is there. And I thought organized labor will say that Acheampong, if they say that the valuation, the bidders did not meet the valuation, then you are making a case.
But did they meet? From your checks, did they meet?
I am sure.
Okay.
I am sure. Because these places, they've been run down. They are losing money. The economic case for it, because every day that they remain on SSNIT's books, they can't pay electricity.
Not all of them.
You can't pay, literally all of them. You can't pay staff. They can't pay SSNIT contributions as we speak. They can't pay GRA tax as we speak. In fact, the pension funds are being bled when these hotels remain on the books. And all the instances where SSNIT lets go of its controlling shares, you find out that they are not making money. But if somebody believes that because there's a politician involved, let's look at the process, I don't have a problem. In fact, the standard should be even higher when there's a politician involved. As for the politician being involved, like I'm saying, I'm neutral. But if it's left to the choice of the politician, if he's in business,
once the transaction is above board,
once the transaction is above board,
you're fine.
And once the politician is involved, the transaction should be seen to be above board,
okay,
because of the perception that there could be conflict.
Let me read two comments from
before I continue.
An investment person from here. It says this SSNIT hotel thing is disturbing. It says all the Serena hotels you see in East Africa are simply management agreements with the various governments. No government has sold shares to Serena. We did the same with Golden Tulip. So why do we sell the SSNIT shares? So this is what SSNIT should do. All the Radissons and Kempiskins we see are just under management agreements. If SSNIT thinks it's about performance and profitability, then they should get a known brand to come manage the hotels. Selling of shares is a no-no. No one does that these days for hotels. Then he says the EcoBank takeover of TTB was more of a share swap, with SSNIT taking bigger stake in EcoBank Ghana and the EcoBank Group. Don't forget, SSNIT already had shares in both ETI, that's EcoBank Transnational something, and EcoBank
the
Ghana.
mother company.
Yes, don't forget, SSNIT already had shares in both ETI and EcoBank Ghana before the takeover. Hence, they sought to consolidate their banking interest in the two entities.
Yes.
They say it was more of a share swap.
Yeah, but what we say is that the controlling interest was given up. SSNIT still has shares. Otherwise, why are they making money from it?
Yes, they have shares in the...
Yes, they are making... Now, the bank is not controlled by SSNIT. It's controlled by EcoBank. And SSNIT is making money. In fact, the figures that... The last payment that they did, 2017, 2018, they paid SSNIT 40 million cedis.
So you realize now that...
And let me deal with the first comment. What was it?
Okay, he says that all the Serena hotels, he also knows a lot about East Africa. He says all the Serena hotels you see in East Africa are simply management agreements with the various governments. No government has sold shares to Serena. We did same with Golden Tulip. So why do we sell the SSNIT shares? This is what SSNIT should do. All the Radissons and Kempiskis we see are just under management agreements. If SSNIT thinks it's about performance and profitability, then they should get a known brand to come manage the hotels. Selling of shares is a no-no. No one does that these days for hotels.
Okay. You should get a known brand to come and manage. You sign a management contract.
Yes. Yeah. A known brand, yeah.
You know, that's what they did with Labadi Beach.
Which one is a known brand that they brought?
The Labadi Beach was being managed by a known brand. Yeah. It's a legacy hotel.
Yes,
from South Africa.
Legacy.
Yes.
But now Ghanaians have taken over.
Yes. Were they making money?
Yes.
No. You would find out that SSNIT, the money they were making was not enough to pay their management fees. I mean, well, SSNIT will bring out all of this. I don't have a problem. But you will find out that when it was under legacy hotels, they were not generating enough money to pay them. Because these management fees don't come cheap.
Yes.
They are hugely expensive.
Yes.
You have to pay them in dollars.
Yes.
And we
so
know,
another,
but even
option.
Lapam and Dagades were paid dollars.
Yeah.
So another option
Yes.
is to divest the shares and let somebody come in with their own money. You know, when people come in with their own money, their own.
What did we do in Lancaster when the Golden Tulip
We sold,
agreement lapsed?
we sold shares to controlling shares to Lancaster. No, the Libyan people. What is the name?
Golden Tulip.
Golden Tulip.
Yes.
Yes. We sold shares to the Libyan
Libyans,
people,
yes.
and then they had a management with Golden Tulip.
Yes.
Yes. So.
And that's what we've done with Lancaster. We've signed
Lancaster is
a
which one?
management agreement. Golden Tulip is now Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster has bought the Libyan shares.
Okay.
So there are all kinds of ways of doing this. But what SSNIT has proven is that when they give out the controlling shares, they screen themselves from all of this, that comes with public ownership and government control and all of that. And they make money. And they will show you that the record, all the divestment that they've made of their shares, they are making money from those divestments as against the one that they have controlling shares.
We should actually stop the state from running SSNIT. If SSNIT investment,
We should stop the pensions.
Yes, if it's unable to manage, and we are saying that is when they divest the shares.
But that's another question. That's different from what we are discussing now.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that from all what you're saying, it presupposes that.
Let's show from the records.
Yes.
And then when you want to look at that issue, we can look at that at a larger eye.
Fine.
Now, Samuel Kujato talked about the transaction advisor.
Yes.
Said it's SEM Capital.
Yes.
Yes, you want the Central Tender Review documents?
And you said the review. You said somebody said they could have done it for cheaper. And I asked that, why didn't they bid? Because the transaction advisor position was advertised. So if you thought you could do it cheaper, why didn't you go and do it for 100,000? Let me show you the figures.
Yes.
EY, those people who applied to handle the transaction, they bid $696,000. The famous KPMG, they bid $1.3 million. The famous Pricewaterhouse and Coopers, they bid $582,000. The famous Deloitte and Touche, they bid $514,000. SEM Capital, they bid $491,000.
491.
So they are the lowest. So they are the lowest. So if somebody comes and says that, why? What's the problem? No, maybe you have an issue.
No, I'm fine.
Oh no, we're having a discussion.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So the bids were 600.
Which one was the 514?
514 was Deloitte and Touche.
Okay. And SEM was 491.
491.
Okay.
And Pricewaterhouse was 582. And KPMG was 1.3 million.
Okay.
So SEM is the lowest.
So SEM was chosen on the basis of
the bid,
the price.
Yes.
The price.
Yes.
Not all the other qualification criteria.
Like what?
I'm
price.
I'm looking at the figures. I'm saying
technical.
Financial is just one.
There's
they look at many other things. So there are bids where a company could bid more than 490 something.
Yes.
But on the basis of the other things in the qualification criteria, although their financial bid might be slightly higher, you get to choose.
Randy, obviously they were qualified. Otherwise,
I have not said
yes. No, if you're raising issues, so you bid. I'm saying their bid, as we speak, was the lowest. That is a fact. Okay. The records will show. So it wasn't like something that been skewed for some. I don't know these same people, but they are because Samuel Kujato raised it. I looked at the figures. Who are they? I don't know them. I've heard the name, but I don't know them.
Okay.
You know me, I don't like this business. You are the people. Me, I'm just like my small politics.
You don't know them, but you know how much they they bidded for.
Do I need to know them? Do I know Deloitte?
He has looked for the information.
Do I know Deloitte and Touche?
It's not clear what
do I know Deloitte and Touche? I don't have to know. Do I have to know them? I'm just looking at the figures. So if you told me,
it's the fact that
all you need
you know
is the information.
Yes.
Yeah, you know their bid. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yes. And so,
it's interesting that you're only interested in their bid, the figure, but you're not interested in the owners. That's all. It's just an observation.
But that's the most important.
It's just an observation.
The owners. What am I going to do with the owners? Who are the owners? Who are the owners?
I'm just making an observation. That's all.
No, but who are the owners? Tell us.
Since you're not interested in it.
No, tell me. Maybe I can be interested.
Go ahead. No, you're not interested. So go ahead.
But the man, he says he has the information. Then he won't give it to you. Then he
says since you say you're not interested, it's fine.
Oh, I am interested. Show me. Show me.
You should have asked your sources, those who are giving you the figures. Why didn't you ask them?
It's okay. Let's move on.
So who are the owners of Deloitte?
Let's move on.
Who are the owners of Deloitte?
You don't know that.
You see, and what?
The owners are Mr. Deloitte and Mr. Touche.
The owners are Deloitte and Touche. They are Deloitte and Touche. And who are the owners of Price Waterhouse?
Mr. Price and Mr. Waterhouse.
Yeah, so the owners are Mr. Seb. And you see, when you do that, you obfuscate your own issues. So when you brought in the transaction advisor and raised issues, I looked at the figures. And I realized that their bid was the lowest. Because you had said that somebody said they could do it for 100,000 when I came in. I said, why didn't they go and bid? If they had gone there and bid for 100,000 and they were not chosen, then we can raise issues. So my point is very simple. Is Brian Achiampong qualified to bid? Is there any regulation that prevents him from bidding? If there is, let's state it. We've been told that he hasn't applied to be given the permission to do private business. So that's something that can be cured easily. You can just apply to the speaker. In fact, the people who apply for that permission, some that they apply 1 year after they've been MPs and so on. So that is not a problem. But I'm sure Brian Achiampong will rectify that. Number two, is there an economic case or a business case for SSNIT to reduce its controlling shares in these businesses? Is there an economic case? And I am very sure that SSNIT will show that there is an economic case and that they are actually saving pensioners' monies by divesting some of this.
I'm not sure even Labour has a problem with the economic case. Labour's issue has to do with the process.
The process,
yes. That's what they've raised, yes.
Yes, and those are the things that
they raised issues at the board about the process. And asked that it be halted until a rectification of those issues.
Even the Labour issue. It looks like Labour, until Samuel Kujeto came out with his commentary, Labour didn't know the process was going on.
No, they didn't know. That they thought that on the basis of the protest at the board.
But listen, Randy, you have experience of board management.
Yes.
How many members has Labour got on the
A total of 4.
4.
Yes.
And you went to a board meeting.
Yes.
And the 4 of you decided that something that management had brought should be stopped.
Yes, should be halted.
And you didn't follow. What was the decision of the board at that time? Was the decision of the board at that time was that it should be stopped? Because when you brought the matter, it has to be agreed at the board. What was the agreement at the board? And you have 4 members of the board. So what was the decision at that board meeting when you raised the issues? When you raised the issues and it was deliberated and your issue was rejected, whether by a vote or so, that is the process.
Well, maybe SSNIT should tell us. And in any case,
Labour should tell us.
No, Labour has said that we raised these issues and we asked that it be halted.
Yeah.
And when you ask, what was the decision?
But they are not a majority on the board.
Yeah.
But if you are not a majority on the board and you are a minority and you're saying that your minority view should carry, is that what you are saying to us? But having said that, if you are a minority and you believe that this your view has merit, and at the board level, your view was not supported by the majority, that is where you should be raising these issues, way back.
But that's why they said that on the 1st of May, they requested a meeting with the president to discuss SSNIT.
But what this thing has been going on since 2022 or 2020 something.
2023 is
it is only when Samio Kujato raised this thing here last week that Labour
but if you listen to them, they're saying that 1st of May, which predates
1st of May is this month.
Predates Sami's expose.
Yeah, but when was this deal started?
Oh, yes.
And when did they, anyway, the records will come. Yes. When did they ask that the process be stopped? When? The minutes will show. Anyway, I'm very happy that there's going to be a proper investigation because everybody will go there and stay their case. So I'm just looking at it from what they themselves they are saying. That, and when I look at the three
Is there a way Labour can join the case as Shraj? Can they?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Can they? Does the law allow that?
Well, in any case, the board of SSNIT.
Shraj can invite them.
But in any case, the board of SSNIT will be invited by, because they took the decision.
No, SSNIT as an organization, which includes his board.
Yes. But SSNIT as an organization will not go. It is the board who will go before Shraj.
What's the management?
The management is part of the board. So they would go there and also go and make their case. Because and then if there's any, the minutes will show. So this thing, I don't have a problem at all. Once there's going to be an organized investigation, I don't have a problem at all. We're just thinking about the peripheral issues. So at the end of the day, let's look at the process to ensure that it hasn't been skewed because there was a big politician involved. That one, all of us are interested. I mean, I am interested that Brian Achampon did not get an unfair advantage because of his position. That should not be the case. And so I want the investigation to go on into the process. As to the issue that he should have been disqualified, you look at all the adverts, unless of course it's a moral issue. But if you look at all the adverts, there was nothing about disqualification. And you know, Randy, this business about politically exposed persons, Samuel Kujato has this friend, is it Maktoum or something? Once in a while he flies that name here. Is it Maktoum?
Oh, Sheikh Maktoum,
all of these sheikhs.
He's not my friend, for the record. He's your former health minister's friend.
Okay.
A guy who took our $2.4 million
that's fine.
away
all
in the name of Sputnik V.
All of these Sheikh Maktoums, these are all politically exposed people. These sheikhs who came and bought Labadi, ambassador, is the ambassador now is a moving pick.
Yes.
Al-Walid and all of these are princes. These are all politically exposed persons.
In their countries.
In their countries. Yes. So if they came here,
but they're their kingdoms. So they run things.
Yeah, I'm saying, so these are politically, these are princes and sheikhs in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all of that. Now they can come here, because I'm sure this bid has been won by some Al-Walid of Saudi Arabia. Wouldn't be here. But these are all politically exposed persons, you know. So, and you see, when you look at Brian Achampon, he has a record in the hotel industry. All of us know that what he's putting up, the Rock City, that he's putting. In fact, the Kumasi thing that Samuel Kujato, he actually bought it from some person who the thing had been divested to, isn't it?
No, I'm referring to the 25%. He bought the 75% from an individual. Then
who's that individual?
Then proceeded to buy 25%
from
SSNIT. So I'm referring to the
so
SSNIT 25%.
So even that one, he bought it from an individual, and then from
they bought part.
So Brian Achampon, I mean, he's noted for Rock City. So he has a record in the hotel industry, isn't it?
For how many years?
Oh, you haven't been to Rock City?
No, how many years is that record?
He's building a hotel.
He's building a hotel.
You are aware it's all completed?
He says he's putting up 3,000 rooms. He's put up about 1,000. Have you been there?
So that is the outstanding record.
Yes, compared to me, I haven't built a bed and breakfast.
Oh, so
I
that's
haven't built a bed.
That's how low the standard is.
No, I'm saying that
compared to you.
No, because you see, I'm saying that this is somebody who is in the hotel business, isn't it?
Now, putting up infrastructure and managing something are two different issues.
Randy,
that's the point.
I'm saying that this is somebody who is in the hotel business.
Yeah, he is,
isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He owns a hotel.
Yes, he owns a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
He's put up 1,000-room hotel as we speak. So he has a record in the hotel business. He's not somebody who has no record at all. So you wonder what expertise that he's bringing to the table. But this is somebody who is in the hotel business. And he's built 1,000-room hotel. So at least he has some credibility in that business. But still, let the investigation go. Let us see and ensure that the process wasn't skewed. What I know is that his bid is at least $20 million more than the second bidder. If there are other considerations, let's look at them. If you say the valuation of the 4 hotels has not been met, let's look at them. I thought that the TUC thing was going to say that the valuation is 100 million, and they've gotten only so.
Maybe because they're seeking audience with the president.
Just keep watching the space.
To say that
it's early days yet.
Saying that the interest in 6, you don't see why it should be 6.
You're saying something.
It's early days yet. We don't have premature ejaculation.
But and what are you having? What are you having?
Wait for the right time. There's a time and a season for everything.
Don't I love my Friday panel?
There's a time and a season for everything under the sun. So the Bible says.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are all waiting for the time and season.
The Son of Man has gone for his megaphone.
Yeah. The Bible days. Zay was doing SU on campus. You forgot about
Saklawaji,
I miss the good old days.
Yeah, look at him.
I miss the good old days, I shall be going back, of evangelism, of preaching the gospel.
The righteous shall fall 7 times.
Yes, but they shall rise. that is what matters.
We will come to your church.
Can I respond to?
In a few minutes, we can go. Okay, guys, if taking on the time, we can't even do. We're going to do
the Attorney General.
Attorney General and KPMG, but our time we can do. We can do it. We'll wrap up on next week.
So let me
you
try.
See that now? Now the report came. We've found about 21 things that were not contained in the president's statement.
Is that so?
From the KPMG, yes.
What items?
Plenty.
Yeah. So
I'll mention them.
So let me quickly respond to Nana Akomia's submissions, and I must say that when you listen to Nana Akomia carefully, you will wonder why SSNIT itself should exist. We probably should just let private pension fund managers take over workers' contributions. If the case is that SSNIT cannot manage anything. Look, let's be very careful in this country. Governments for a long time and state institutions have just been given a free pass to waste resources, to run down investments, and we allow them to get away. I cannot understand why a hotel like Labadi Beach Hotel will be doing so well, making profits under Ghanaian management, and then others are allowed to collapse. Sometimes some of us get the impression that some politicians deliberately run down state assets so that they can get their cronies or they themselves will buy them over. If these hotels are not profitable, they are useless to workers. Why is such a mad rush to have them? Check. Since the implementation of divestiture in Ghana, You hear government officials, oh, it's not good, oh, it's not worth it, oh, we are losing money, oh, we are not able to get dividends for the workers. Let's sell them. When it's time to sell, go and check those who go and buy it and those who are associated with them. When would this hypocrisy stop? Don't you see a pattern where state assets are deliberately run down? And if these hotels are not valuable, oh, they are useless. They don't bring workers anything. Why are these same politicians passing the back door and running for them?
Because when
running for them.
Because when they are in the private sector, they manage better.
Yeah. They manage better.
Because it's their money.
Suddenly it's profitable. It is worth it.
And it's not their money.
But we don't value them. We don't value these assets when they are under state control.
Let me give you one.
This must stop.
The SSNIT thing.
I only have a few minutes.
Apart from there have been plenty NDC politicians who have bought SSNIT properties. And now there's an NPP politician who is also bidding for SSNIT property. But look, the divestment they did in many of these things, they didn't even go to politicians. The HFC, the Trust Bank, the SSBs, the Merchant Bank, all of them,
you've made all of these points. So I am against this principle that if it is a state asset, it cannot be managed well, it cannot be run well. And so let's be in a hurry to sell them. So that whole policy decision, we have to take a second look at it. The second issue that Nana Kumia makes light weather of is the constitutional provisions under Article 78 and 98.
He says that can be cured.
But this cavalier, perfunctory approach. Please, these are constitutional provisions.
I have said it can be cured, or it should be cured. Have I thrown it away?
It's a condition precedent.
Son of man.
It's a matter that, before you want to engage in those matters, hold office of... Look at what the provision says. 78.3. A minister of state shall not hold any office of profit or emolument, whether private or public.
Shall not.
Shall not. Say shall.
Go on.
And whether directly or indirectly. Unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker, acting on the recommendations of a committee of Parliament, on the ground that A, that holding that office will not prejudice the work of a minister, and B, that no conflict of interest arises or will arise as a result of the minister holding that office. These are serious matters.
But let me ask you a simple. Let me ask you a simple.
And it's not an issue that you it can be done anytime. Probably when a day for him to leave Parliament. A day to leave Parliament, then he goes to do it.
But it
meanwhile, he may have engaged in conflict of interest.
But listen,
please, let's respect the supreme law of the land.
Yes. But the SSNIT aware that you as Ibrahim Achampong hasn't gotten this permission. Was it part of the bidding, the requirements?
Oh, it can be.
SSNIT wouldn't know.
No, it cannot be.
So
it doesn't.
I think that is a responsibility on him.
Yeah, on him.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a responsibility on him. And I'm sure he'll
that is why
discharge
the Speaker's attention has been drawn to this. Then look, let's deal with this matter of, you see, Nana Komia is very good at obfuscating. So he makes it look as though I have said that when you come into politics, you can't do business. You think that if the Honorable Brian Champong had gone to buy some hotel in the private space, he has got his certificate to do business and is expanding his hotels. He's going to buy Makelin, or what is the other one at East Legon? Any private hotel. You think that we will be wasting public time on these matters? So it is not about politicians doing business. It is about the conflict of interest that arises. It is about state assets being sold to politicians.
And how do you cure that?
And look, I am clear in my mind.
How do you cure that?
That the reason why the Constitution makes reference to conflict of interest and says that you need a permission from the Speaker is so that these matters are not treated lightly, are not joked with. Doc, I never imagined that in my relatively young life, that a few years after what the PNDC suffered under its divestiture implementation program. Have you forgotten in this country what happened when it was reported that 31st December was interested in some of those divested state assets? Have you forgotten what the MPP said? Today, Nana Akomia is telling us that he is neutral. Hey!
But that's his personal view, just like you also have a personal position on the matter.
I didn't get the neutrality then. Where did he show that neutrality?
He said what? PNDC?
Yeah. I mean, this people are making it look as if I'm the only stranger in town, as if I've landed from Mars, that this is so normal. And I mean, look, we are either for conflict of interest or we are against it. And I have said that, look, the only way, and you see, a lot of politicians are not listening to the people, and we are taking the growing anger for granted. Have you followed the upheaval? Are you listening to the outrage that Ghanaians are expressing? Why do we want to bring this upon ourselves?
Will you recommend that we do an investigation stretching back?
Of course, fantastic. I'll be happy with that. I'll be very, very happy. As far back as we can go. So I am surprised that people who have held this view that I have taken, now, they've held it 20, 30 years. Suddenly, it's like we take views that we can only hold on to when we are not in power, when we are not in control of the state assets. When we are put in charge of the state assets, our positions change. Suddenly we are neutral.
Which people change their positions?
Politicians can do business.
Which people change their positions?
Are these statements coming from the NPP?
Which people change their positions?
Politicians, some politicians.
What position?
I am shocked that this week, the NPP that has been opposed to divestiture implementation since the PNDC era, and some politicians being named, including politically exposed organizations like 31st December Women's Movement. Suddenly, I am the only troublemaker in town. I mean, I would have thought that you'll be my good friends, you'll support me in this campaign, Randy, and we will all declare that politically exposed person should not come near state assets.
Randy, on this table, me.
I'm disappointed to hear that, Nana, you are saying that you are neutral on this matter. How can you be neutral?
Me, I have supported the work that you are doing. I have said that an investigation should be conducted. I support it fully, especially that there's a politician involved. So we want to make sure that the process was not unduly influenced. I have supported it.
Yeah, but you added that you are neutral.
No. Because I just want the process to be fair. If the process is fair,
do you think ministers of state, cabinet ministers, should be buying state assets? That is the fundamental issue.
Listen,
do you think that it is right?
If the process
whether process is thorough or not.
No, but let me develop. Listen, me, when I was a minister, I was offered property. Lands.
Your colleagues? Yeah.
No, lands.
Yeah, it comes always.
Lands department.
Yes.
Lands commission.
Yes.
State land.
State land.
Yeah, I was also offered. Yeah.
They were. There's a practice in place to divest some of the state lands. Okay. And it's going on. I was offered. I said, what price? The price that they told me, I said I would not be able to buy it.
It was too much.
It was too low.
Which area?
The usual areas, yes. I said no.
The price was cheaper than Nyanyano land.
That's what always happens. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
So you declined.
So I declined.
Okay.
And a lot of other people declined.
So Nana, you should be supporting
But listen, when it was offered, if it was fair and square, they say it's 2 million. And it shows that the valuation is well done.
You could have opted
2 million.
for it.
And I could afford it.
Yes.
I would have bought it.
So what it means is that
why should they offer it secretly?
What it means is that
why should they be even offering it?
But I'm saying
under the cover of
yes. So I'm saying let it be advertised.
Let it be open.
And then let me go and buy it. Let me bid. But to call me and say that. But if it was advertised and the proper valuation has been done, because as we speak, there are people buying those lands and converting them into
private persons.
Private persons.
So what if
Private persons.
What if it's above board and a politician buys?
If it's above board and a politician, what's the big deal?
Okay. So is the
criteria have to be above board.
So is there below board?
Suspicion, yes.
Just support my private members bill and let's end this whole thing. It's for our own protection. The political class. Let's be careful.
So, Dr. Kingsley Nyako, he's not Deputy Education Minister.
Hey, I must go and congratulate him. You and I have to go and congratulate him. I have to go and greet him in his office.
He says, I think that when matters such as these are being addressed and discussed, especially those that border on indigenous concerns, let's take our time, examine all the facts and material evidence before creating the impression that some unfair dealings are transpired. I have no problems when this deal is being scrutinized, but let's play by the facts, verified facts.
Okay.
Yeah. It says you are his deeper life brother.
Yes. We were preaching together.
Which school was that?
Deeper Life is
it's a church, not a school.
You don't know Deeper Life. They have quite a number of restrictions.
Christian student.
No. It's a church.
But he at least he looks pious.
He looks.
Okay. And I act pious. Any day I'll choose actions over looks.
Okay, so he has a question for you.
Yeah.
He says, a minister not holding an office of president, does it mean that if I establish a business and I'm not part of the management and I don't receive emolument or a salary, I should still seek permission from the speaker? He says, can Son of Man respond to this?
Yes, because the articles of incorporation, you are the sole beneficial owner, you are the sole shareholder, and all the profits come to you. So whether you are it's not a management function.
Okay, so
it's not that you don't go there every day.
So a salary,
yes,
a salary or a compensation is not profit.
What
the law speaks about is office of
profit.
Yes,
profit. The profits are coming to you.
My comment on it is that then this business about politicians who want to engage in office for profit going to get approval.
Yeah,
we should look at it.
You think it's unnecessary?
Well, because obviously.
But what's the difficulty?
What's the difficulty?
I am a businessman, but I decide to do politics. Nothing stops a businessman or an entrepreneur, anybody from engaging in politics.
So you are a politician.
So I do it, but the law says that
just comply.
Once I decide to hold that public office, I cannot hold any office of profit unless, but it gives me a window that I can apply to an office in Parliament, and then when I apply. The committee can look at it, and then the speaker gives me permission.
Yes. But I'm saying.
So why wouldn't I just comply?
No. As for the compliance, it should be done. I mean, if Brian Achiampong had gone and said, "Look, I'm in the hotel business, and I intend to continue the hotel business," which is public knowledge, he would have been given the permission.
Straight.
Yes. So for me, that one is not the. But the issue is, should politicians be allowed to do business for profit?
My
and
view.
So this provision that is there seems to agree that you can do business for profit.
Yes.
You should
Except
just apply.
That you must make sure there is no conflict of interest. That is why that whole application
I'm saying
process
that
arises.
If Brian Achiampong,
the disclosure must be made.
If Brian Achiampong had applied and said, I'm in the hotel business, he would have been given the permission. Because he's in the hotel business.
Yes. So he would have
been able to. I mean,
he would have acted constitutionally.
Yes. Within the law.
Yes.
So if the technical objection, 1 second. If the technical objection is that Brian hasn't gotten the permission of the speaker to engage in private business, it's a flaw that he must cure. But saying that politicians should not engage in business.
Buy state assets. Should not buy state assets.
Should not buy state assets.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, the way state assets are being sold. They shouldn't.
Then we should have a regulation that states so clearly.
So I'm working on a private members bill, and I'll be counting on your support.
We'll support
Doc, let me just on a lighter note. Since Dr. Kingsley Nyako raises the issue of Brian Achiampong's day-to-day involvement or non-involvement. Did you see the letter from the paramount chief of the Edina Traditional Council, Nana Kojo Kondua?
He's my friend. What's he saying?
I've made the point that.
Let me read that.
Salary is not profit.
And this is a petition to the Director General and then the Chief of Staff, Office of the President. Dear Sir, settlement of Golden Beach Resort land at Elmina. it has come to the notice of the Edina Traditional Council that the Golden Beach Resort, Elmina, has been offered for sale. This is when Honorable Bra Champong, Member of Parliament for Abetifi constituency, visited the site with the investors. Our main concern is that the land on which the resort is situated is the property of the Edina Traditional Council. We are therefore calling your attention so that we all could solve the matter.
They have to be consulted.
Amicably.
Yes.
So Brad Champong was there. That is how they got to know. The man who is not involved, who doesn't participate in day to day.
But the beneficial owner is his money.
But the chiefs saw him there.
It's his money.
But Nana Kondia.
He's a social owner. It's his money.
So Nana Kondia is not helping this narrative.
No.
Nana Kondia. It's his money. It's social owner. It's his money.
I support.
So Nana Kondia.
I support Nana
exposes
Kondia.
that
he has to be
involved.
Involved.
He has to be seen.
Yes, he has to be. No, he has to be involved.
He has to be seen or
he has to be involved.
But
so
the
that
involvement is
he has to be involved so that he can get an undertaking that his subject.
Is Nana Kondia the one who loves to dance in the palanquin?
Yeah.
It's him.
Nice chap. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
The palanquin. Listen, he has to be involved so that he can ensure or get an undertaking that his subject.
But Nana Kondia's intelligence and his monitoring is solid. You know, he has helped us know that this business, I'm removed, I don't go there, I'm not in day-to-day management. Nana Kondia has really helped us.
So he said that so he can ensure that his people will be employed. When they and in the same vein, that your people, the La Chiefs. They have to be involved.
But we have to be careful, Doc. It means anytime we go to Amina, Nana Kondia will know.
Yeah, for your own protection.
He'll know that we are.
But someone says that I'm surprised at the letter from Nana Kondia. At the time, UST then owned Amina Motel. What did RP Bafo tell the Traditional Council? Unless the lease agreement of 99 years is over and the land has been restored to the Traditional Council.
He's only drawing their attention that they have to. But
that he's aware of what is going on.
It's in the interest of Brian Champong or whoever the investor is.
To sit down with Nana.
To sit down with the chief.
Yeah.
Are you in your own interest?
Yes.
Okay. But he says you should reply his letter. At least it's 2 years now.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's 2 years. At least let's dignify our paramount.
The letter was written in 2022.
Yes.
But the process hasn't been completed.
At least.
When it's completed, I'm sure Brian Champong.
That says he saw them in 2022.
Yes. but the process has not been completed. When the process is completed, whether it's Brian or anybody,
this is some.
They'll go and see.
This is some really mysterious process. Those on the board didn't know it's continuing. The chiefs too cited and don't know the status.
As for the labor unions,
this is incredible.
They have been negligent. You are on the board. You object to something. You on the board. Randy, you are a chairman of a board, isn't it?
Yes.
You have to take a resolution to your case. If you don't even agree with the majority decision, you can take it up at TUC level. You don't wait 2 years after for Samio Kujeto and then all of it. It raises issues about your own governance.
Interestingly,
and the point that they are trying to make, as if rather SSNIT is going to lose money, cannot be true.
Interestingly, the Honorable Bra Champong is bereaved.
Oh, he's lost his anchor?
No, grandmother.
His grandmother. Oh, condolences.
That was like a 100-year-old woman.
She's a bit old. But the funeral is next week. Next weekend. Next weekend, Aku.
So we'll go to Rock City.
I've stayed there. I've stayed there a couple of times.
Yeah. We have to go to Rock City. Have you been there?
I will be busy with church. I'll be at church.
Bakus Road.
Son of man is afraid.
Oh no! I guess.
So we need to go back. Let me just do this quickly before my producer gets on my neck. Okay. So a couple of birthdays. I'll try and just do them quickly, and then would go. So Dr. Prince Obrikran, who's the course coordinator, Law and Development at University of Ghana Law School. It's your birthday today, so happy birthday to you, Dr. Prince Obrikran, and it's from Kwesi Afriye and your students in your development class. And Emmanuel Brown of Canis, Tom Brown, and Roverman Productions, today is also your birthday. Happy birthday to you. So Nana, we don't have time, so I can't take you through all the things, but there's just a small bit, a small bit of the KPMG one.
Oh, okay.
You know the SML. It was supposed to plug revenue leakages.
Yeah.
But according to the report, they didn't file tax returns. Those who were supposed to plug the leakages, they didn't file tax returns.
Add to the leakages.
Withholding tax. The GRA.
They didn't pay tax at all.
They didn't file.
But did they pay?
Returns. I'm not done. Withholding tax. The GRA paid them and didn't withhold the tax. There were no VAT deductions. They didn't pay taxes plus interest of 38 million. So this is the company that was supposed to
plug tax loopholes
and
didn't pay tax.
This is what they did.
And this is a company that's supposed to ensure compliance.
Yes.
And revenue assurance.
This is just the
but listen, I haven't. What I also know is that we were supposed to have been paid 1.4 billion, and we were paid 1 billion because of the taxes that were removed.
Which taxes that were removed?
The 400,000.
Yes.
The 400 were taxes that were removed. That's what I know.
No.
But anyway, let's check.
Yes.
But this thing is going to be.
But this is
because they're supposed to be
This is just a part. I mean, the issue of using 720 of ESLA money to pay them and all that.
20
million cedis of the ESLA funds to pay them.
This report.
The fact that the KPMG report even said that it required parliamentary report according to the PFMA. And all these things were not contained in the president's release to us. Very material findings. All right. Okay.
But what I with the tax, I'm having a little difficulty because I know they're supposed to pay the 1.4, but we're paid 1 billion.
But Doc,
because the taxes
I don't envy whoever will be the next Attorney General. You know.
Talking about Attorney General, we couldn't go into it. But you see,
there were lots of prosecutions.
There was an accusation that was made in court. There's been a statement issued by the AG's department outside court. In court, there was an allegation of
very damning
AG having done something. Outside court, the AG denies that, but also makes an allegation and says that he has video evidence. Look, both parties. If they are honest and truthful, both parties, they must make their recordings available
immediately.
No, but they would. Once they've made public declaration.
No, so I am saying that they must make it available. They must make both recordings available. The AG must make the video recording that it says
on the part of the NDC. Available. I've seen the national chairman's statement that next week they will make their evidence available at the press conference.
We want both parties to make the recordings available.
And the General Legal Council must
let the recordings come first.
They have to step in this.
All right. So thanks, gentlemen, for joining me. And up next, Metro Sports.
So what are you going to track? What's the first meeting?
I'm standing by. They
said they have to call you?
Yeah.
Remind me so I'll go there some.
Okay.
Fortune Rice, it's me emu ediane biara. Yansi o kakre.